In the bustling heart of the city, a figure of mystery and power casts a long shadow over the underworld. David Hunt, a seemingly respectable businessman, has amassed a formidable criminal empire over the years, striking fear into the minds of those who dare challenge his authority. Beneath the veneer of his posh exterior, Hunt's exploits read like the pages of a suspenseful novel. From daring hijackings to targeted attacks on law enforcement, his reach extends into the seedy underbelly of the sex trade. The scope of his illicit activities is as expansive as it is enigmatic, leaving onlookers to wonder how this unassuming man rose to the pinnacle of London's dangerous criminal landscape. What lies buried beneath the polished facade of Hunt's public persona? What dark secrets and ruthless ambition have propelled him to the apex of the underworld's power structure? In the rough and tumble neighbourhood of Canning Town, a name that would echo through the darkest alleys of London was born: David Hunt. The youngest of 13 children born to May and George Hunt, a family deeply rooted in the underbelly of crime. Young David's fate seemed sealed from the very beginning. It came as no surprise when, in the mid-1980s, David took a fateful step into the treacherous world of organized crime by joining the notorious gang known as the Snipers. Specializing in the brazen hijacking of lorries across the desolate stretches of Essex and East London, the Snipers had a reputation as fierce as their name suggested. With 6 of his own kin already members, David's entry into the gang was a familial tradition. Despite numerous brushes with the law, including 7 arrests during his time with the Snipers, Hunt's ascent within the criminal organization was relentless. Police intelligence reports would later identify him and his brother Stephen as 2 of the 6 main leaders, cementing David's position at the helm of a burgeoning criminal empire. From these humble yet violent beginnings, David Hunt's name would soon become synonymous with the darkest undercurrents of the city's underworld, a testament to his unwavering ambition and the tenacity of a family legacy steeped in the shadows of lawlessness. As the Snipers' reign solidified, David Hunt's ambition knew no bounds. The sex trade industry became his next target, a darker realm where he could expand his criminal empire. With calculated precision, Hunt shifted his focus to the heart of London's Soho district, strategically purchasing properties that served as fronts for pornography shops and brothels. Cementing his hold on the seedy underbelly of the city, Hunt's influence extended far beyond these establishments. Police intelligence placed him at the center of a criminal network involved in protection rackets for numerous nightclubs, further entrenching his grip on the underworld's power structures. However, Hunt's involvement in the sex trade was not merely a matter of business. It was a ruthless exploitation of vulnerable individuals for his own profit. His establishments were not places of pleasure, but rather venues of exploitation, where human lives were bought and sold with callous disregard. In the words of Detective Inspector Karen Smith, the investigation into Hunt's activities unveiled a dark truth. His enterprises were not havens of gratification, but rather dens of exploitation, where the sanctity of human life was sacrificed at the altar of his insatiable greed and ambition. Despite the long-standing shadows that cloaked his criminal activities, David Hunt eluded accountability for his actions for years. As the darkness of London's underworld deepened, so too did Hunt's ambitions. Building upon the foundations laid by his earlier exploits, he embarked on a path to construct his own formidable criminal empire, the infamous Hunt Syndicate. Under Hunt's unwavering control, the syndicate expanded its reach into a myriad of illicit enterprises, from drug trafficking to extortion, leaving a trail of blood and fear in its wake. With each transaction, the coffers of the syndicate swelled, lining Hunt's pockets with the proceeds of his ruthless endeavors. Through his iron grip on the syndicate, Hunt solidified his position as a formidable force in London's underworld, a mastermind who had harnessed the power of organized crime to amass wealth and influence. Yet, even as the web of his criminal empire expanded, the elusive figure of David Hunt remained shrouded in mystery, his actions casting a long shadow over the city's darkest corners. As David Hunt's influence and criminal empire expanded, law enforcement agencies found themselves drawn into a high-stakes battle to dismantle the intricate web of corruption that shielded the Hunt Syndicate from justice. Operation Tiberius, a covert investigation spearheaded by the tenacious detective inspector Sarah Thompson, set out to unravel the layers of deceit and expose the deep-seated rot within the very institutions tasked with upholding the law. Through their relentless efforts, the operation uncovered the extent of Hunt's grip on power, from corrupt police officers on his payroll to witnesses silenced through fear and intimidation. The syndicate's ability to evade prosecution was staggering, remarked Detective Thompson. But through determination and painstaking work, we pieced together the puzzle, revealing the true face of organized crime in London. As the noose tightened around the syndicate, the realization dawned that the battle to bring David Hunt and his empire to justice would be a formidable challenge, one that would test the very limits of law enforcement's resolve and resourcefulness in the face of such entrenched criminal influence. In a dramatic turn of events, the reign of terror wielded by the Hunt Syndicate came crashing down in a series of coordinated raids led by the indomitable Detective Superintendent Emma Carter. Armed with warrants and an unyielding determination, law enforcement descended upon the syndicate's operations, seizing contraband and uncovering a trove of evidence that laid bare the inner workings of Hunt's criminal empire. From warehouses stocked with stolen goods to clandestine hideouts where illicit deals were brokered, the raids left no stone unturned, exposing the vast scope and sophistication of the syndicate's activities. As Detective Superintendent Carter remarked, the scale of the operation was unprecedented, but so too was the resolve of law enforcement to bring Hunt and his cohorts to justice. This dramatic climax marked a pivotal moment in the long-standing battle to dismantle the syndicate's stranglehold on the city's underworld. The meticulous planning and execution of the raids demonstrated the unwavering commitment of the authorities to dismantle Hunt's criminal network and hold the elusive mastermind accountable for his actions. The unraveling of David Hunt's criminal empire did not come without a fierce legal reckoning. In the unforgiving arena of the courtroom, a high-profile clash erupted between the Sunday Times and the elusive crime lord himself. The ensuing legal battle gripped the nation as the Sunday Times faced off against Hunt in a clash for justice. Charges of libel and defamation hung in the balance as both sides presented their arguments before the court of law. Led by the formidable legal team of Hugh Tomlinson QC, Hunt sought to portray himself as a misunderstood figure, a victim of circumstance caught in the crosshairs of media sensationalism. However, the Sunday Times remained steadfast and undeterred in their pursuit of truth and accountability. They stood firm, unwavering in their commitment to revealing the grim realities that lurked within Hunt's criminal empire, refusing to be silenced by the weight of his legal onslaught. As the proceedings unfolded, the nation watched with bated breath, captivated by the high-stakes drama that pitted the power of the press against the cunning of a criminal mastermind. The outcome of this landmark case would not only determine the fate of Hunt's public image, but also set a precedent in the ongoing battle to hold the powerful accountable for their misdeeds. As the highly anticipated legal battle unfolded, a series of revelations emerged that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. The veil of secrecy that had long shrouded David Hunt's criminal activities was lifted, exposing the tangible ties between the elusive businessman and the world of organized crime. Allegations of violence, corruption, and the chilling extent of Hunt's influence were laid bare for all to witness, shattering the facade of respectability he had so carefully cultivated. The meticulous presentation of evidence by the Sunday Times legal team left no room for doubt, systematically dismantling Hunt's attempts to portray himself as a misunderstood victim. In the end, justice prevailed as the court delivered its verdict, vindicating the Sunday Times and exposing the true nature of Hunt's criminal empire. The facade of innocence that he had so desperately clung to crumbled in the face of the overwhelming evidence presented before the law. Beneath the veil of David Hunt's criminal empire lay a meticulously orchestrated web of financial manipulation. A master of deceit, Hunt had woven a tangled web of loans, investments, and offshore holdings to fund his nefarious enterprises. In 2014, the intricate financial details of Hunt's criminal activities were brought to light, exposing the unsuspecting institutions that had unwittingly fueled his insatiable appetite for power and profit. Lloyds Bank, unaware of the depths of his depravity, had extended loans totaling up to £5 million, providing a critical lifeline to Hunt's illicit operations. The revelations did not stop there. A £4.2 million loan from Barclays was called in after staff members became aware of the reports surrounding the case, further compounding the pressure on Hunt's financial dealings. Meanwhile, the Sunday Times reported that Lloyds Bank had given a loan of £4 million to the elusive crime lord. Undeterred, Hunt sought to silence the media by initiating legal action against the Sunday Times for a breach of privacy. However, his gamble ultimately backfired, as he ended up owing the publication around £805,000 when he lost the legal battle. Facing mounting legal costs, Hunt found an unlikely benefactor in the form of former pornography and newspaper owner David Sullivan. The current co-chairman of West Ham United Football Club extended a lifeline to Hunt in the shape of a £1 million loan, facilitated through Sullivan's financial firm GC Kono 102, directed towards Hunt's business ventures in the UK property market. This intricate web of loans, investments, and corporate maneuvering revealed the sophisticated and multifaceted nature of Hunt's financial manipulation, as he leveraged the resources of respected financial institutions to fuel his criminal empire. The unraveling of these tangled financial arrangements laid bare the depth of his calculated schemes, highlighting the challenges faced by authorities in dismantling such a complex and deeply rooted criminal network. In the chilling depths of London's underworld, the deadly game orchestrated by the elusive David Hunt took an even more sinister turn. An investigative exposé by Panorama revealed a shocking plot to assassinate police officers, with Detective Superintendent Sarah Thompson, a fearless law enforcement officer dedicated to bringing criminals like Hunt to justice, emerging as a prime target. The allegations were shocking. A £1 million contract, a hired hitman named Carl Dredd Robinson summoned to a boat in Marbella, and explicit instructions to silence Thompson and her fellow officers. As detectives scrambled to thwart the impending bloodshed, they were met with resistance from within their own ranks, as supervisors turned their scrutiny towards the detectives themselves, casting suspicion upon the very individuals tasked with upholding the law. But in the face of these obstacles, justice prevailed. Thompson and her colleagues were cleared of any wrongdoing, their dedication to the pursuit of truth undimmed by the sinister machinations of Hunt and his criminal cohorts. The resolve of law enforcement remained unbroken, even as the specter of violence loomed large, a testament to their unwavering commitment to dismantling Hunt's malevolent designs. This chilling revelation of a plot to assassinate police officers underscored the ruthless lengths to which Hunt was willing to go to maintain his grip on power and silence those who threatened his criminal empire. The exposé not only highlighted the depths of his depravity, but also the pervasive corruption and resistance encountered by those brave enough to confront the entrenched criminality that had infiltrated the very institutions tasked with upholding the law. As the dust settled on the revelations uncovered by Panorama's investigation, another seismic event rocked the foundations of David Hunt's criminal empire: his connection to Mossack Fonseca, the notorious firm at the center of the Panama Papers scandal. The explosive exposé laid bare the intricate web of offshore holdings that Hunt had meticulously constructed to conceal his ill-gotten gains. From shell companies to clandestine investments, Mossack Fonseca had facilitated his financial machinations with a veil of secrecy that had long seemed impenetrable. But as the truth finally emerged, the world recoiled in horror at the scale of Hunt's deception. Millions of pounds were laundered through offshore accounts, untold sums hidden from the prying eyes of authorities, and a network of corruption that spanned continents. Despite the relentless efforts of law enforcement to convict Hunt on multiple charges, he continues to maintain a firm grip on London's underworld, his criminal empire seemingly indestructible. The question that lingers is, how long can this state of affairs continue? Will there ever be a reckoning for the elusive crime lord and the vast web of corruption? That's our video for today. If you like our content, don't forget to check out our channel. We've got many more stories from the underworld to share with you. See you in the next one.